But the truth is, I think we were going rogue for a while because we were doing. I probably got charged for assaults and pointing of firearm and assault, what do you call it, GBH, probably about 16 times in the 2 years I was in Mountain Rise. So I was already an aggressive policeman and I never got convicted for that cases ever, right? And we would realize that we would get rewarded for your bad behavior, right? You would be sent to the hotspots. You would send to the people that would be giving the police more of a problem. If you found you had a problem drug dealer, send Devin and so and so and so and so and so, because you know what the reaction is going to be there. And you know when you get there, they're going to really be on top form. And because we realized that we would always be covered for the wrong things that we did, you realize that you become untouchable, right? So in the incident where I'll say the whole thing sparked off in the sense of the first case that we were actively involved in a murder, it had transpired because my co-accused had shot somebody in a justified shooting because those people, a group of people, had tried to disarm these police officers. My co-accused that was involved in the case was being part of our group in the sense of that, shot one guy dead, and his accomplice was also shot, but he was not dead. That same accomplice would be the guy that we would take out or get rid of because of the fact that we thought that he was going to come back to finish the job that he had tried. And that was what has happened. That suspect was found close to my co-accused's house. And I'm trying to put you into the mindset of us at that time. Your mindset is that you were attacked all the time. We would carry one in a chamber. We would carry 2 magazines. We would always be armed no matter where we went, what time we went, because there was a notorious killing of policemen, especially because they wanted the cops' guns. Right? Because there was a war going on in the country at that time. Although it wasn't visibly a war, it was a war. And the number of policemen that were getting killed or disarmed was a lot at that time. I'm not saying it's not now, it's probably even exactly, but that was the time that it happened. So in this incident, my co-accused had picked up this guy and they had, I would say, arrested him. Like I said, this guy was a active cadre. I'm not trying to say he was maybe a MK or he was a soldier. I'm not sure about that. But these guys knew how to use guns. And they were breaking into the police stations. They were stealing. So their arms were full. Right? And my co-accused had picked up this guy. He had arrested him, subdued him or whatever. They had assaulted him and they'd put him in a boot. Right? They had picked me up and we had went out to the sugarcane plantations. He was shot execution style because he was on his stomach and he was shot in the back of his head. Right? And although it might sound like I'm sounding callous, but the truth is at that time we were callous. At that time we were not. We were different people. I was a different person. Day in and day out, if you're exposed to violence and you're exposed to this is how the life is, your chances of you becoming like that is very high. Okay, he was shot with a gun that looks exactly like the official gun. It was a Z88, but it was an unlicensed Z88. So we had approximately between 5 and 6 different caliber firearms that were all unlicensed. We were collecting these firearms when we arrested suspects and we didn't book them in to arm ourselves. Plus also, it was, we used to have a word for it. I'm trying to get the word. We used to call it a spook. That's what we called it. So that was our name for no matter what. We had a 9mm where we had groovings inside and we had put a silencer on it, right? Even when we were arrested, the investigating officer with probably 30 years service had never seen a gun like that. He never realized that. We had got an engineer to put groovings on and we had put a silencer. The truth is, what we found out is that you needed to have a special type of round to be able to silence it. So we've never got that effect. It still made louder noise. So it wasn't really, it just looked very impressive.
So you needed a subsonic.
You needed a subsonic round, which we realized that only after that, because we had a rifle, was a 2.2 with a subsonic round and a silencer, and we were doing damage with it. We could take off your ears if we wanted to from a distance, and you wouldn't even know that we took it off you, because that's how pinpoint that rifle was. Right? He was shot there. It was an unlicensed firearm, so it didn't really make a difference whether the rounds was there or they were not there. Although when we'd shoot and something like that, you would pick up the rounds because it just makes sense for you to do it. It would just make it difficult. Although we would have already contaminated because it was an illegal firearm. We had left that deceased there, or the body there. We had left. My co-accused had returned back with there later in the evening. I'm under correction. It could be later in the evening, could be the next day, but it was later. They came back there, they picked him up, and they took him to another area. I would say maybe 10 k's away from there, a completely different direction. And they dug a hole and they buried him. That would happen. His body would be discovered a year later.